on it, reminding myself of it now, gonna forget it tomorrow.
Yeah, or
But
when
I'm Rich.
and I'm Josh.
Make sure your Walkman is at full battery because we're diving into our dad tapes.
Thanks for listening to tape number 5 of the Dad Tapes. Let's get rolling.
What are we drinking tonight, man?
Tonight we are drinking it's made by Dogfish Head. It is the Slightly Mighty. It's a low-cal IPA, with monk fruit extract.
It's only 4%, but it is
95 calories.
95 calories, 3.6 carbs, you know. Hey, if you're trying to slim down for summer, this is the beer for you.
It's a light beer.
What's what's your thought about it, man?
I really enjoy it. It's good.
Dude, you could
Honestly, say I could
chug
pick up
it.
a pack of this and just down them.
Exactly. You could chug it, you could sip it. It is this this is my all-time favorite beer. You know, the 609 IPA by Glasstown Brewery. It's a good, heavier beer, but it's still good. This
Yeah,
beer, this beer you could take to the beach. This beer you could have at barbecues. This beer is a very versatile, flexible beer. This is my go-to.
I agree. Like I can honestly say that I think I may have found a new regular. This
Yeah.
this is good. It's light and crisp. It's refreshing after a hard, long fucking day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's good in the shower. Love
Good shower
the
beer.
shower beers.
That's always dude. That's what I'm saying, man. It's a very versatile beer, but
How was your week?
it's same man. It's just a lot of preparing this house, man. I mean, until we get past this like month of April, just because it's just this time of year for what I do and what I've always done, ranging from like what I did for work to my own personal residence. It's just that time of year, man. Getting the outside ready.
Yeah,
And this home, like I said before, it's been neglected. So that's where I'm at with this. You know, it's a process, and it's not going to be where I want it to be yet, and it won't be at the end of the summer.
it'll take a little while.
Oh, absolutely, it
Yeah.
will. But it'll be strides better, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Getting to that point to where I can look back at it and be like, you know what, I did that. It's rewarding.
Yeah, it's nice to look back on something and something that you've accomplished to make yourself look good,
It is. It really is.
or feel good, I mean.
But besides that, the yard work stuff and getting that into order, it's just we got a we got a golf trip weekend scheduled. You ready for that one?
Woo woo. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I haven't been golfing in a while.
No, no, no. They're gonna have to give us an extra hour because whatever
There
whatever
might
the
be some
courtesy
fucking
time
wingers.
is, yeah, a couple. There's gonna be a lot of wingers. What I didn't say last episode was that crazy tornado storm we had like a week
Oof,
and a half ago.
this shit was wild.
Discovered we had two sets of leaking windows.
Oh shit.
A nice big old puddle in the basement because the water just dripped all the way, literally down from the second floor, straight down into the basement.
Didn't help that it was like torrential downpours though.
No, no. And I mean, we've been in the home since November. So, yeah, first time it's ever happened. First time we've had a storm like that. But we're in South Jersey. And though we haven't had a big hurricane recently, it's gonna be bound to happen again. So,
Oh yeah.
you know what's new this week? You know what's new this week? We knocked off something off of our list back in January when our AC or HVAC system kicked the bucket. And you know what we did then? We bought a new system, right? We bought a new heater and a new condenser for outside and just a whole new HVAC system. 12,000 bucks, right? The fan and the condenser, the motor never worked. Brand new
No
unit.
shit.
Good on us, right? Anyway, man, what
Yeah.
what about you? You got some good stuff happening this week?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot actually. Yeah, like you were especially like when you were talking about how like, this time of year it being you being busy with yard work and everything, man. Dude, work has been fucking slammed.
Sure, dude.
This is my second week there, man. The amount of customers coming in for material is insane. But nah, man, this week was a bit of a downer. Um, Easter was good, Addison had fun,
Mm-hmm.
had some found some eggs.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had to sadly had to let go of the relationship that I had. I don't want to go too into detail because honestly I really don't want to put that out in the public, but um it wasn't working out for me and my daughter's sake. It's tough.
Well, we're here for you, man. I'm here for you. I don't know how many listeners we have consistently, maybe our two, three listeners, but they'll be there for you too, man.
I appreciate that. I'm trying I'm not letting it really get to me because I mean honestly, when I got to the point where I just had to, you know, I made my decision on what had to happen. And at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best for my daughter, no matter what the situation is. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it was an okay week. It was just kind of one of those ones that just sc scooted on by. But your boys got bad luck, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Your boys got bad luck, especially when it comes to women.
You know what time it is, right?
Yeah, it's time to be a prepared dad.
It is time to be prepared, Dad, with a good little reading from our handy dandy Be Prepared, a practical handbook for new dads. Why don't you tell them what we're reading? You know what? You open this up, man. I'm gonna let you take the show over.
All right, man. We're tonight we're gonna dive into your newborn and your pet because honestly, that's a big thing. That's tough, dude.
I got a story. I got a story about this with a
Oh
pet and,
boy.
and a baby. Yeah.
Oh boy. Nah, but it's mainly just for one, it's important to get your pet or your animals, whatever you have, introduced with the baby scent. It's the easiest way to, start to get them familiarized with the baby before the baby's even home. That short
Yeah.
time period that the baby's in the hospital after its baby's born. For instance, like I did after Addison was born, I brought the baby blanket home and Kelly was still in the hospital. I brought the blanket home. I checked on the dog, fed the dog, everything. I ended up staying at the house, make sure everything was okay still for the night. And I got Ellie, my dog, familiarized with the smell on the blanket. So she got used to the new smell and something getting ready to come in.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, man, because the relationship that they're going to build and the bond that they're going to have the older they get is it's awesome to watch.
It is. It is. We've only personally, Jill and I have been in a position to bring home a baby to an animal. Actually, I stand corrected. We've only been in the position to bring a baby home to a dog once. We had our son before we got our dog Winston, who's a white golden retriever, biggest love in the world, and he is the biggest, honestly, the biggest dope in the world. He is his. I think his brain is fried, and it just seems to be a trend for us because we have a bunny, and we had our bunny. That was our first baby, if you will, and we bought this bunny from a breeder in Maryland, and it was late spring, actually, closer to Bay. And Jill and I drove down to Maryland. So we get to meet the breeder. We get down, Tractor Supply in the middle of Maryland. Where else would you meet a breeder other than a Tractor Supply down in Maryland? It sounds very befitting, if you will.
Hmm.
So we we get the bunny and pay for the bunny and holding the bunny. And then she goes and tells us, hey, yeah, we've had some really hot weather. It was a hot spring, like 90s already at that time.
Oof.
And she's like, oh yeah, the ACs in the barn broke, and the whole nest of bunnies. We tried to keep them cooled down with fans, and you really shouldn't let bunny temperatures get up above, like, if they experience temperatures in the high 80s, there's some stuff that can happen. And we didn't think anything of it at the time, but we got to know this guy. Pretty sure he has real brain dead, like totally believe that
Wow.
unfortunately this little guy's brain fried because it got too hot, and it
Yeah.
sucks. And it also kind of indicates why he was a discount price compared to all the other bunnies. I guess that should have been the first red flag, but I guess we weren't good at picking up red flags. So
Oh
But yeah,
shit.
when we brought Declan home the first night, there was no real way to kind of introduce a baby to a bunny. You know, a bunny is a
No.
bunny. A bunny is a bunny. You know,
Yeah.
um, Declan was crying in the middle of the night, and a rabbit was in his cage, and he just gave this kid who was laying on the floor getting his diaper changed, who crying, just screaming. He was a baby, a 3 day old baby, the biggest death stare ever. You know, this bunny used to be sociable. This bunny used to come out of his room, out of his cage. He used to hop around our house. And then Declan came into the picture and he just stayed in his cage and under the bed.
He's thinking, what the fuck is this thing doing here?
To this day, he doesn't leave the bed in the cage. So that's
Wow.
his that's his life. It sucks. It's sad because he was a very sociable thing before Declan scared the crap out of him. But I mean, quite literally, you know, he's a changed man. You know, but
Oh
there are
man.
some critical things you want to do, like Josh pointed out, when you before the baby comes home. You know, you want to learn, you want to the scent is a very important thing, and that's how dogs communicate. It's how dogs familiarize themselves with things. You know, that's how cats even communicate. You know,
Oh
marking
yeah.
territory, everything like that, from territory all the way to familiarization of family and friends. That's just how dogs are. That's how most mammals are, besides humans. I'm not going to walk around smelling somebody's butt. So the one thing you want to do is not create like a negative scenario for your dog.
No.
And we're focusing on dogs right now, because the
Yeah.
second portion is cats. But you don't want to create a negative atmosphere around a baby with a dog. And by that, you know, constantly being kicked out of the bedroom if your dog sleeps in the bedroom, sleeps in the bed. You know, you have to tread lightly. You have to
Yeah.
keep them in mind too, because they will act out.
Oh, of
They
course.
will absolutely act out. You can't allow diminished playtime to really affect. You know, you have to integrate them into the lives too. It's a step by step process. You just can't go all in. It doesn't work for anybody. The other thing that the book recommends: play a recording of a crying baby to get the dog used to the loud, high pitched screams.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, that's I can see that because like for instance with Ellie now that Addison's grown up, like for like if I'm sitting at the dinner table watching a TikTok or whatever while I'm eating dinner or whatever, there's been a few instances where I've come across some TikToks with babies like scream crying and Ellie, she just kind of like she gets excited. Not super excited where she's jumping all over the place and everything, but her head tilts and her ears go up. Like she gets that that focused the focused excitement. And they get used to it very fast.
Yeah, yeah, they
I
do.
mean, Ellie never had a problem with Addison.
Yeah, Winston never did either. I mean, Winston has a problem with Declan, but that's just because Declan treats him like a jungle gym.
Yeah.
But
Most
honestly,
kids do, dude.
yeah, I know. And he's a big guy. He's on the lighter side weight wise. He's only 65 pounds, but you know he's tall. He's a big stature dog. And Declan treats him like a freaking horse, man. And whatever.
Ride the
He always
pony,
has.
ride the pony.
He always has. But that dog adores Bridget. You know, that's his little baby too. It's funny. He doesn't want to play with Dex, but he'll play with Bridget. It's sad because Declan only wants to play with him, and Bridget couldn't care. But you know, some dog experts also suggest that several months before the due date, you want to play pretend with the dog just to acclimate the dog to that new dynamic that they're going to be put into. And the last thing is you got to have your dog well trained.
Oh yeah.
You can't have a snipper or a snapper or a biter, you know, or a gnarling dog around a baby. You know, if it's territorial, if it's you know, you got to be careful.
Be smart. Like
You know,
don't let the dog get in the baby's face like
yeah,
immediately. It's the
yeah.
same thing with like people holding a baby. It's just it could be unsanitary, man. It really
You're
can
getting
be.
skeeved out over there just thinking
It's
about it,
just
talking about it. All right, let's just keep it moving. So there's obviously the postpartum section. So you know, let's dive into that one.
um One thing that they really suggest that you do is upon arrival from the hospital is let your spouse or your partner greet the dog first. Your spouse is, I mean, even though you are going to have the baby scent on you as well, but the spouse is going to have majority of the scent. And they say to let the dog sniff the spouse first because it's going to get the familiarized scents together
Yeah.
and feel more comfortable. Now, when it comes to cats, basically everything's pretty much the same when it comes with cats.
It's just because they're so independent, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like they say, it's all the dog-based suggestions will work with cats as well. So there's not much you have to change. So
I'm just glad I got my dumb dog and my brain fried bunny. Tonight, our topic is scrolls as good as ancient ones. And what we mean by that is just how social media is just the modern day embodiment of a library, to where civilians in ancient times, or even in, God forbid, the 60s and 70s, when the internet wasn't even a thing, you whatever you would need, you go to the library.
grab a
Double-O
book.
Atlas.
Yep.
Exactly. Anything and everything you would ever need. So be it that you lived in a good area with a good library, you'd have access to that. Now, not only is it on our fingertips, but it's cropped and edited in short little catchy, quick videos that really attention grabbing, and on in that same note, pretty educational. Not everything. There is
There's
absolutely time wasting crap out there.
there's some dumb shit out there.
There is, there's a Josh. I can't tell you how many times I get a TikTok sent for me from Josh where it's just some fat guy on a rollerblades running up to the screen and sticking up the middle finger and saying, "Oh, you're a bitch," or something like that. Yeah, absolutely some idiotic, mindless, funny stuff out there.
Family shenanigans.
Yes, exactly. You know, and you know what? There's a place in the world for that. Everybody
Yeah,
needs a good
exactly.
little laugh when you have to deal with all the anxiety. But at the end of the day, there is just as much educational stuff too. And we're not going to discuss, we're not even going to open up Pandora's box about the bad stuff, the dark stuff out there. Tonight, we're going to be talking about all the educational shit, all the good stuff, the funny stuff, the stuff that you can actually put and apply into your life and use that to better yourself. Tips, tricks, life hacks, if you will. And that's the focus of our show tonight. And it's the one thing I wanted to really kind of discuss is censorship is real,
Oh yeah.
and there is such a thing as overregulation. There is such a thing as trying to, impede on what you have access to, and the one place that connects the world is the www, World Wide Web. It's
Yep.
named that for a reason. Just my perspective. Josh, you're more than welcome to give some insight or your own perspective here.
Excuse me. There's my perspective. No, I mean,
Let's keep it moving.
I mean, listen, you do your own thing, I'll do my own thing, as long as we stay out of each other's lanes, and that's it.
You know, TikTok and Instagram, they're reels. I can sit here and
Hours.
I can sit here and watch it for hours, and I can sit here and find a lot of hours worth of informative stuff, teachable things, got therapeutic things,
Yeah, man.
raising my kids things, um, relationship things.
Where the fuck were they when I needed them?
As it down to just even like little parenting hacks. Like one of the one of the biggest things I've always struggled with, still do, and I've known this hack. And the problem with these life hacks, the only thing I remember, or I'm sorry, the only problem I see with these life hacks is remembering them in the midst of it instead of remembering it after you do it or before you get ready to do it. Like putting a rubber band around the freaking diaper wipe container, baggy, Ziploc thing, and having 4 or 5 of them pull out as you're holding your daughter's legs up in the air, and she's got poop all over everywhere on the diaper, up her back, and you see that little hand starting to wander down to her thigh where there's poop, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
and you're doing this fucking. You grab a clump of the wipes and you're doing this fucking
The
wave
little
thing,
wave, like, yeah,
just
you're
trying
waving
to
it
get
like
one fucking wipe
you're
off.
like a banner flag flyer at a freaking Civil War meeting. It's like,
It's like
what
you're
is this? A
holding
reenactment? Like, what? I hope I'm representing the Union in this case. Good grief.
It's like you're holding the terry towel at a fucking football
Good.
game and
Tell
shit.
me. Yeah, that's an understatement, man. That's an understatement. You're using a force of like those damn punching machines on the boardwalk, and you got to hit 1,000 to separate those freaking wipes, man.
Yeah, and then when you
And then,
finally
and then
do, they go fucking flying across the room.
exactly. But a rubber band stops it. But you know what? I know that life hack, and I could go in my daughter's room right now, and there ain't no damn rubber band on that. And you know what I'm gonna forget to do the next time I go to wipe her tomorrow morning is put that rubber band on it. Reminding myself of it now. Gonna forget it tomorrow.
Yeah, or
But
when you
I
go to
will
get that
say
new
I
bag.
know that life hack. So if a parent ever says, "Oh man, this sucks," hey,
Hey,
here's
try
a tip.
this.
Yeah, I don't do it. I don't do it at all because I just forget about it. But here, you try it. Tell me how it works.
Oh man, this next one, guys. This is all right, this is one I can attest to experience. Allowing your fears to become your child's fears is a major no-no. It's
Hmm.
basically influencing them to be scared of what their parents are scared of and what greatly influences them to adapt to the same fears that you have. Kids shouldn't be fearless, but when a kid sees that their parent is scared of something, it acts negatively towards how they look up to them. It also holds them back from learning things that they could potentially enjoy in their life.
You know that could be that's so profound because it could be applicable on so many different levels, not just
Exactly.
fear, but like racism,
Yes.
discrimination, hate in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a teachable thing.
To see, all right, so the thing is to see your kid scared of the same thing that you're scared of kind of makes you feel a little weaker in a sense, in my opinion, at least.
There's probably people who are proud that their children, not necessarily fear, but the other things that are passable to children or teachable to children, the traits or actions, they're probably not ashamed of that. And that's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Josh said, it's you don't want to be, you're not that guy, pal. Don't be that guy, pal.
I mean, listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am dead ass scared of fucking spiders. Hate them.
Yeah.
Always have, always will. And now, ever since because Addie has seen that, she has taken that on herself.
Yeah. Well, I know that feeling here. Our son is not afraid of bugs, and I've kind of integrated him and taught him, like, I'll let a spider crawl on my hands. I'll let bugs crawl on my hands or my arm or something like that, and show him that just because you can be afraid of something doesn't mean it's going to hurt you.
Yeah, I
You have
get
to
that.
give the respect to them as much as they will to you. You could be trepidatious about it, you could be cautious about it, but if you approach things with fear, everything else is going to pick up on that fear too.
Yeah.
Know what else these ancient scrolls of modern day have? So many cooking recipes. Now I'm a guy that stays in the kitchen, man. I cook. I've spent so many years of my life working in kitchens that it's almost a hobby of mine. And even if it's not as if I'm living, step by step on these recipes that I can find, I follow accounts that show you and provide these recipes for you. I don't follow things to a T. I kind of take my own spin on it, make my own little journey on it. But it's absolutely motivated and inspired me to cook things that, I normally wouldn't.
Whether it's full meals or desserts or whatever you want to do, man, there's just so much out there you can find. Dive in, have a good time, have fun, enjoy it, you know. Taste and when it comes down to eating the meal, enjoy that shit, man. You made it. You made it with your kid. You made it by yourself, whatever you want to say. Devour that shit.
You know, there's this video that was posted on TikTok with a short quote. Now I don't know what movie it was from or if it was just Denzel. Did you talk about that one?
No, not yet. It wasn't a movie. It's just it was him, I think, at like the Oscars or something like that.
And it's this is the other side of the other side, as if there's only two sides. This is one of the many sides of TikTok and Instagram videos. It's the type of videos that just kind of reminds you of what's important. It reminds you of the important things to do in your life, the important things to remember in your life. It was a video of a quote from Denzel. And what was the quote, Josh?
Quote says, "Pain is passed down from father to son, and I am guilty of that frustration. But we have a responsibility and a duty to be real fathers, not to just make babies. And you can't expect good to come to you if you don't visit any good on your son or your daughter. So be a man."
It's deep, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it is.
I think
Hit me hard when I saw it, I can tell you that.
it's a simple reminder that it's important for you as a father to be as involved as you can be. It's about being a good parent, spending that time with your children rather than on your phone. I mean, again, there's a time and place for it. There really is, and I do think that there's a lot of good in there, just as much as there is the bad. It's the yin and yang of everything. It's the balance. But it's just all on how you use it and when you use it. And it's just a gentle reminder. And again, the irony of it is that quote, that reminder was given to us off of something that is used to primarily waste time.
You want to spend as much time that you possibly can with your children or your family or your friends, whatever. But, don't take it for granted
Mm-hmm.
because you never know when it's going to end. And I mean, it's sad to say, but it's reality.
Yeah, it is. The other thing that all dads need to dive into on TikTok and Instagram are those, the handyman dad stuff. That is, and the grass cutting, man. I love grass cutting. That's my thing. That's my thing. Like I said, I have many things, and that's one of them. That's another one. I see you guys are learning a lot about me tonight. That's one. That's another one of my things.
Yeah, it's like me, man. I love fixing shit
Yeah.
all day long. I can do it and not have a problem. When it comes to a handyman dad, there's so many tutorials on things that can be done at home.
Oh yeah. Oh
Babies'
yeah.
rooms, kitchen ideas, etc.
Oh, dude.
There's just a plethora of shit that you can
Yeah.
find.
Sometimes quite literally.
There's just so many like tips and tricks that you can be able to do at home for that remodel that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
From learning a quick way to get an accurate corner to corner measurement without having the tape measure bend in the corners and you get a fucked up cut and all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, there's so many things that you can go and see that just make things easier when it comes to fixing shit.
These social media platforms can be obviously used for good, bad, but at the end of the day, these are our modern day libraries. You know what? How many books are there that people just don't agree with, that people just don't like? There's that many videos.
Yeah.
How many books are out there that are self-help books? There are that many videos. Our point is you can teach yourself a lot. YouTube, Pinterest, even stemming away from TikTok and Instagram. There are other platforms out there to use. Allow yourself to immerse into just the world of your own education, self-education. It's that time of the show. Dear Internet,
Meet Dad.
what do you got for us tonight, bro?
All right, so this one's called Core. And just a reminder, all FMLs are anonymous. It says, "Today, I went to the gym and accidentally farted during yoga class. Everyone looked at me, and the instructor said, 'Let's all take a moment to appreciate the power of core strength.'"
Yeah, that is the best one ever. Oh god. So this one's called The Voice. Today I sent a voice memo of me singing off key to my boss instead of the actual work related attachment. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's already an FML. My boss replied, "Don't get your hopes up. So stick to your day job. FML, man. Woo! Could you imagine sending some of our outtakes to your boss? Whoa.
My boss would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" My boss is a woman, so oh shit. Oh, this one's called Let It All Out. This is an FML back from 2015, but it's good stuff, man. It says today I learned that the only way for me to have a complete bowel movement is to blow my nose at the same
Damn.
time.
Whoa.
However, I learned this while standing in my girlfriend's kitchen.
Ooh.
You shot yourself in your girl's kitchen, bro.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's a good FML.
Ooh. That hurts.
Sorry
That
about your luck.
hurts. This one's called Stealthy. Today I was on a date with a guy and we decided to go see a movie. As we were walking in, I saw my ex-boyfriend with his new girlfriend. I tried to avoid them, but my left heel got caught in a crack in the pavement and I fell face first onto the ground. My ex-girlfriend, my ex and his girlfriend saw me, laughed, and walked off. Ooh, Josh, I hope you don't find yourself in that situation, my guy. Whew.
Yeah, I hope not. Oh man. This is all right. The last one's called Big Boy. This one we can, Rich might be able to relate to a little bit, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It says, today I took my pet rabbit to the vet because I had noticed his genitals looked swollen compared to my other rabbits. It turned out he's just gifted. The vet laughed at me. FML.
Yo, his boy is hanging nut, man. His boy out here, he's freaking teabagging all the other ones, man. Jesus. Yeah. Anyway, let's get our social media roll call going, man. What you got?
All right, be sure to follow us on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our Facebook's The Dad Tapes. Instagram is at The Dad Tapes Podcast. Twitter is at The Dad Tapes. And be sure to like and subscribe and leave a review of the show wherever you listen to podcasts. It truly helps the show. Can't stress it enough, guys. It really does help.
Don't forget to rewind the tape before boxing it back up. Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy, pal.
Don't
Be that guy.
You're not that guy, pal.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Peace.